Hey everybody, it's Patsy here, and I don't know what's going on, but I've been getting some messages from Spirit this morning, and I was told to just go live and share it and see. Hey, Katrilla, what's going on? See what's happened. Just start talking about this subject, and hopefully, we'll it'll lead us wherever it is the Spirit wanted to lead us. So they wanted me to talk about the way it came to me. The wording was practical intuition. Hey, Monica, how are you? I'm fine, baby. I'm fine. Let me just make sure y'all can hear me. Okay. Let me know. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up so other people know that we're here. Anyway, they said practical intuition, and I've spoken before about you know your spiritual journey, or at least mine, and certain things along the way. Like years ago when I was a teenager, I dreamt a year in advance. Thank you, Monica. You can hear me okay. A year in advance of my great grandmother's passing away, exactly on that day. And I recalled it because it was the same day as my boyfriend at the same day as my boyfriend's birthday at the time. So when it happened, I it was it stayed in my mind that I had said it a year earlier on the exact same day, and I was like kind of weird. And over the years, things happen, and you follow your first mind, as they say. Follow your first mind to keep yourself. Hey, Kata, how are you? Salutations. You follow your first mind to keep yourself out of walking into the wrong direction, or just leading, in your daily life. And so they told me to talk about some of those things over time so that you can know that you're not going crazy. Maybe somebody's thinking that they are, or someone isn't sure what it is. um Sometimes I guess maybe for some people, the, the, the sounds of their intuition, maybe it comes as a voice, and if they're very intuitive and they're not supported in it, or they don't want to speak about it because maybe they've been told that it's bad or evil or whatever, sometimes they don't understand that energy, and that makes them appear to be psychotic when actually they're psychic. But if you're in the communities that don't accept that, unless it comes a certain way that they say, all right, just like there are Christian communities that I am aware of that they would never condone, tarot cards and things like that, because you just, God will reveal the things to you, or the pastor tell you, and all of this, whatever. So you don't believe that a tarot reader could get messages from spirit, but you believe the pastor could. Why? Why? What's the difference? There is none. Oh, because he's a pastor, because he's a man, because there's a church, because women's intuition or messages from spirit are downplayed. Keep them to yourself. It's, oh, mom was always a worrier, that type of stuff. So we poo-poo messages from women, or for those who, do tarot. But at the same time, we'll, you know, believe the pastor, we'll believe the priest, we'll believe the organization's leaders, but we won't believe our own intuition, our own intuitive messages. We trust outside of ourselves, but we've been taught to do that, right? Mm. So anyway, I don't even know why I'm shuffling those cards. You're not crazy. Listen, maybe that's why they wanted me to make this morning to kind of reassure you. Okay, so everyday uses of your examples of how you would use your intuition, you might not even realize it, right? Um, so for example, years later, I was going out with this guy, and where I lived, there was it was like a main street, and cars would speed down the street, not that they were supposed to at all, and it was about a block and a half away from the cemetery is where I live. And that's another thing. I realize now, looking back over time, I've always lived somewhere close to cemeteries and water. And even when I worked, I was right near, I was near the water. Well, I was on an island, so that's surrounded by water. And there is a crematory off of the island. So that's a place where they would take, amputated parts and things like that to the crematorium, which is not far from, I mean, I could see it from the island where I was. And there were people who were assigned to go back and forth to that place. Potter's Field is part of that also. So, thanks everybody for coming. Don't forget to give thumbs up so more people know that we're here. Um, so I realize that again, that's part of part of the journey is looking around, looking at your life, see what besides the love, heartbreaks, things like that, the practical stuff about where you live. Damn, I got a big ding off of that. That was loud. Where you live, where you work, what are consistencies of the places that you find yourself drawn to? So let's not talk about the guys or the girls, or, love interests and stuff. Talk about physical, geographical. What are you near? Are you near mountains? Are you near water? Are you near dirt, deserts, things like that? And is it consistent? Is it just um, a byproduct of where you happen to live geographically, or are these places that you have chosen to move to? That's at the same time consistent features. Like I went to college, is right on Lake Seneca. I live in a town that the bay's right here. It's called Freeport. So always around water. That same cemetery, if I wanted to walk, is in walking distance. When I was working, like I said, Potter's Field. The academy is across the street from a cemetery. You know what I'm saying? When you look at what is following you, so, or not what is following you, but what are you being called to, or what should you pay attention to? So that's something that you could do in case you need to take your mind off of your love troubles. Pay attention to the consistencies and synchronicities of your life aside from your romantic relationship. Okay. Now, so anyway, so where I lived, it was it's on the main road, and I was going out with this guy, and he parked his car in front of the house, half on the curb and half on the street. And there's a pole. Ding again. There's a okay, another ding. There's a pole, a light pole, right? So let's say this is the street facing this way. Don't ask. East, south. I don't know. Anyway, this is south. All right. And so he parks the car here. The pole is here, and it's half up on the street. People would park there. There would be. They used to call it Slam City because every so often, and not that far apart, months would pass. Maybe somehow or another, somebody would find their way into that pole. So I wanted to go get some groceries. And he said, "Oh, okay." And he came to take me. And I I think I had made lunch or early supper, but I said, "Okay." And usually when I said I'm ready, he would just go out into the car and warm it up and wait for me to come. This particular time when I said I'm ready and he got up, I said, "No, no, 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 have a seat. Relax. We'll go out together." And so he was sitting, watching whatever he was watching. I swear to you, no more than 10 minutes later, boom, big smash. Run to the door because the door is right there. I could just walk, to the car, or he and I could have walked to open the door. Some car had hit his car into the pole at this high speed, the steering wheel, and it was just like mush. It was like an accordion. And we both looked at each other, and he fell on his knees and started crying and said, "Thank you, Patty, Patty." Patty said, "Thank you. You saved my life." I just said what Spirit said for me to say. And it wasn't the first time that he would come and get me and wait. That was the way it went. So thank God, right? So that's an everyday use that had nothing to do with love, particularly was practical. Pay attention to those type of events along the way. Has that happened and how often does it happen? And maybe you can learn by going over these events by yourself, sitting down, you start to understand how reliable your intuition really is and that you can trust it for yourself if you've been always trusted for other people. Now, then one time, my daughter was in summer school or going to summers, activities. Hi, Renee, how are you? Um, Renee said hello to everyone. Please give us a thumbs up so other people know we're here. So anyway, my daughter was, I guess she was a bit in, she was in the summer school, but they had like summer activities at the school and in the morning. And I told her, I said, when you finish, don't go anywhere, come straight home. And I had just had my son, so she must have been about 15, 16 years old. Hey, Martina, how are you? Did you get that package yet? Martina is my girlfriend, and she lives all the way down in South Carolina. Actually, my daughter introduced her to me. Thank you, Katrilla. Thank you, please. Like and share, give a thumbs up. Okay, you didn't get it yet. All right, let me know. So I wasn't real, I had a baby, infant, right, to take care of, or I must have been getting ready to have the baby. Maybe that's what it was, because it was summertime and he was born in August. So maybe I was getting ready to have the baby. But anyway, after a while you get tired and, I've always been the kind of laid back mother, I think my kids would say. I think I am. Maybe because I had a tyrant. So if I'm not doing what she did to me, then I guess I think that I'm cool, right? Anyway, that particular day, I said to her, don't go anywhere when you get off of school. When you get out or when you finish, just come straight home. Don't go hanging out with nobody. And she was like, all of that. I said, you heard what I said? And she came home. But with an attitude, didn't care. All right, all right. But she did what I told her to do. So a little, maybe about an hour and a half or 2 hours after she was home, grumpy, but that's what she is. The phone rang and she got word from one of the other of her friends that the girl that she would have been with had gone to someone's house, and their big brother and his friends were there, and they sexually assaulted her. And they found her walking the street naked in our community. And so, of course, my daughter was upset, but she said, "How you knew something was going to happen, didn't you, Mom?" I didn't know. I just knew to tell you to come straight home. I didn't see nothing. So I didn't have to get like a picture painted for me or something. It was just something nudging me that's telling me to tell her and be very clear. So who knows what? And then there was, of course, the other side of it, maybe had she been there, that wouldn't have happened. But I don't, I just know what my Egun told me to tell her, and my Egun or her Egun. So it was for her best interest. It was for her protection. So that was the time. So again, things like this that happen in your life that have nothing to do with romantic love, you know whether or not that type of if those type of events ring true for you, how often. Like you go somewhere. Okay, so like my divine masculine, he told me that when Amadou Diallo died, that was a police killing. They shot this man in a festival, and he was going into his own home. And it was like 40 shots. People who live in New York know about it. Years ago. And it was, regular apartment building. People lived there. And my DM went there. And he said he could feel, he stood in the vestibule in the building, and he said he saw like the whole thing, how it happened from Amadou's point of view, the police officers, there were like 4 of them. He says it just is like he saw how the whole thing happened. Okay, Katrina, you do things like that a lot. Okay, good. Just being in the space, he said he could see the whole thing and how it happened and how everybody reacted. It was things like that you feel the presence of something around you, or it's your intuition now. Whether they call it mother's wit. It's also called wisdom, right? Your intuition, women's intuition, all of these things. That's no different. The messages that Spirit gives us are no less valuable, authentic, or valid than to pass a sermon on Sunday. Now that men are picking up on this, because it's not limited to women, men have it too, but they've made it a feminine trait, so men don't embrace it. Suddenly now they're starting to get in this called their spidey senses, right? We say it too, all right? So we're not sounding like we're crazy and nuts and like my spidey senses. So now you sound like a superhero instead of a spiritual person, because that's definitely more credible to be a Marvel hero in the Matrix. That's more real than being in the spirit and living your life. Unconditional love and authenticism and, try to find truth. Because why? Because it's more of a feminine attribute, or it's seen that way because masculine isn't encouraged as much. And when they do, they become the great, or the mystical or the magical and all of that. Okay, so Monica says, so he was psychic. I can say I don't see it, but I can feel a presence around me sometimes and pick up. That's what it is. So some people smell it, some people hear it, some people feel it, some people see it. Okay. And some people you just know it. So these are all different types of clairaudience, clairvoyance, clairsentience. You can put whatever it is in Google and it'll explain to you what it is. And we've been told about these things, right? What is it? The Temptation song. I can feel the presence of another man. That's jealousy sometimes. Maybe, okay. Maybe jealousy is the dark side of your intuition sometimes. Could also be your imagination. But if you're in tune normally with your intuition, your jealousy may not be a threat to your relationship. It may just be an energy that you don't want around, and it's coming through this type of a thing, Or there may be something down the road that may happen to your partner if he's with this person. It ain't got nothing to do with intimacy per se. It's just maybe you're trying to lead them away, and because it's wrapped up with emotions and love and passion and all that other stuff, it comes off as jealousy. But let's stand back and think that maybe it's protection for yourself or for your partner. Don't know. I'm just saying, I'm not trying to rationalize funky behavior and being, crazy and spying on people. But I'm just saying, don't be so hard on yourself. Sometimes if you are an empath, it may come off as jealous when actually it's protection. For some of us, sometimes that's what they said. Okay, so those were two incidences of that. What else? Oh, now they say that we have all the tools that we need to do what it is we need to do to protect ourselves and our family and to continue to work our tools on our spiritual path. Hi, everybody. If you're in the room, please give us a thumbs up so that other people will get the notifications, please. Thank you so much for coming. So the tools that we've been given are earth, wind, fire, water, right? Just like in the tarot. And that's coins, air, passion, emotion, action, love, movement, right? So they said that is love, that we've been given love. Love is one of the tools in our toolkit, and truth. Because love is emotions, truth, stability, and wow, I told you I can't read my own handwriting sometimes when they do this to me. Emotions, stability, Earth is stability. Wind is truth. Air, truth. Passion. Oh, okay. So love is emotions and passion along with truth and stability. That is the love, the basis of relationships, the tools that we can use to create stability and passion in our relationship is to be in touch with our emotions and be truthful and honest. Communicate honestly. Communicate honestly and communicate. Know the importance of stability that you create, that you bring to the table for yourself. I, the partner. Know what it is that you want and what it is that you are desiring. Whether it be the person that you're currently with or whoever it is that you see ultimately in your future. Okay? So, what else? So, today, okay. Mardina says, yes, the spirit warned me one night in the club, said, go home. As soon as I got home, this guy killed the guy that was standing right where I was. That type of stuff. Exactly. Exactly. You know that you usually go this way and you turn and go that way. There's a reason for it. That happened to me. Spirit wanted me to see something. I'm coming home from work. I've been coming home from work for all these years the same way. Something happened. I got detoured and I ended up having to go home, but a different way. And when I got off of the parkway, I had to go down certain streets and it passed by my son's mother's home. And there his karmic, one of his karmics, is standing there moving into the house that him and his mother both swore up and down they would never let her move into their house at all. And he had just told me that. And here I'm driving down the street. I look over and we lock eyes. It was like a boom from the universe. Wake up. You can't believe nothing. And she saw me when I saw her and she screamed his name. And I could hear it because I had the car windows, down. Because I'm on my way home from work. I still got my uniform and shit. I was like, yo. But he brought his raggedy ass over the next day or two. And even brought his son that he wasn't supposed to have around me either. And I was fine with that. I didn't want her around my son, and I don't want my son around you. It was good. I had a court order for that. But I'm sure he snuck in taking my son around her. I know for sure my son is a grown man now. Not a lot, but it has happened. And it's gotten back to me. We've had pictures of it. If he had a penny, I'd have sued his ass. But anyway, and the thing, come to find out years later that I wanted so much to protect my son from happening is exactly what happened. Because I knew who he was messing with. They don't know how to, train their kids properly. Oh my goodness, the mic fell off. I hope y'all heard that. I just knew it. I could tell from, streets talk. Anyway, I told the judge, and so the judge and my ex, my son's father, agreed. He dropped his he dropped his not wanting to agree with that part, so he didn't contest that anymore. He told the judge whatever she wants. And we were not talking, not speaking, the whole 9 yards. So spirit must have spoke to him. But years later, my son's grown. I'm out of town. He's with his dad. His dad had done some fucked up shit, causing a rift to us, to him and I, and to my son. But my son was very rude to me when all this happened. It was very complicated, but it caused my son to speak to me in a way I never, ever, ever, ever thought I would ever hear from him. And it hurt me so bad that I had this horrible thing going on because this cowardly father decided, now this is years later, my kid is grown, but we'd always been seeing each other, but we didn't live together. And I certainly wasn't trying to be his wife ever. But we always figured we would grow old together, right? But I always never wanted him to take my child around this woman and her kids. But one of her kids is his brother, is my son's brother, half brother, right? So it's been going okay for years. So after he married somebody else, not this crazy one, and her, it's out of the blue. Didn't even tell me, didn't bother to tell me. And he told my son, hey, tribal woman, and told my son to tell me. My son was like, I'm not telling her that. You tell her that. And wanted my son to be the like stand up at his wedding. And the only reason my son didn't go is because I had a dental appointment and I had to take Valium and they don't let you drive. So if I didn't have that doctor's appointment, my child would have gone behind my back to do this because this is his father. But he said once he told his father he wasn't telling me, figured his father would have told me. No. So I find out like a week and a half later. So things happen. I get very upset, of course. I was just not being very, I just reacted badly. But he knew that I would react like that. And that's why he did it like that so that I, so he wouldn't be around when I reacted because he's a coward. And I wasn't thinking about my son at the moment. I was not in my mother head. I was in my woman head, my emotions, my feelings, my love, and the betrayal of both of them. I felt at that moment. But of course, within, about 20 minutes or so after the initial shock, I realized that that was a fucked up situation for my son to be in. And how could I can't hold him responsible for it, but at the same time, I'm hurt. This is the child that I gave birth to. If there's a test of loyalty, it should never ever be that position. But you should be. I feed you every day. I clothe you. I go to school. I go to the day. When the only reason he shows up is because he thinks I'm there. How you gonna tell your kid that at that moment, at that time? And so my initial reaction was just to like, how could you look me in my face every day? He should have never been put in that position. It was not his fault. And I know that. And I knew that then, but I reacted not so spiritually. I mean, it was no fight or anything. I just was like angry and hurt, you know. Not like I took out my belt and started beating him or something like that. It wasn't that kind of party. It was just like, but then later on, when I got back to myself, I recall I was told in a reading a year earlier that I was going to look around one day and my entire life was going to be totally different. And I was going to understand that I can't trust nobody. And that was the lesson. The other lesson is don't fuck around. because all of the thing that I have been trying so hard to protect this baby from all these years is exactly what happened when I was away, because I had to get away. I had to get away. I had to get away. But I ended up out of nowhere going to South Carolina, a place I'd never been before. And I was able to do some connecting with some information about my ancestors while I was there. I would have never gone. I may not have ever had that opportunity all those years, all these years. This just happened within the last 5 years. 3 actually. And then to go down there and to get all of this, and I feel like, wow, it's the same town. When I go home, I'm doing my census, it's the same place. So that's part of the universe doing things to bring stuff together is magic. And you gotta sit down and think about your life and all the times that you may have been at your bottom and somehow something came through, and show gratitude and think about that with gratitude. Stuff that ain't got nothing to do with this, whoever, your divine masculine, divine feminine, whatever, about your life. This is about you. Okay, so where was I going with that? All right, so those are the tools that we have. All right, so that's what love is: our passion, our truth, our stability, our emotions, paying attention to your intuition. Then, okay, so while I'm doing my genealogy all this time, and around 2012 when I retired, I have an opportunity to go on a cruise. Never been on a cruise before, and I told my girlfriend to come with me. My girlfriend, I mentioned to you a while back, to some of you may remember. Her name is, I call her Ronnie, but she is Yoruba Ifa. She is a devotee. She is Jaboni. She is like a teacher, and we become good friends over the years. And she knows Ifa. She knows Orisha. She lives and breathes it day in, day out, day in, day out. Since I've known her, since before I've known her. She's tuned in and she's blessed. And she ended up moving to New Orleans just out of the blue, but that's how she was led. And she's still there. And it's been however long it's been since Katrina. She started living there maybe a year or two after that. So anyway, I got this trip, and it was for 2, and it was pretty much paid for. And I called her and I said, come. But she was in New Orleans, Louisiana. So she flew up and she joined me and we went on the cruise. And my son's father dropped the both of us off there. That's how recent. This, I guess when I retired, it kind of like booted up quicker because I didn't have to go into the belly of the beast every day, as I call it. So one of the places that we went to on this cruise is a place called Sanai. I think it's spelled Sanni or Sanni, whatever. It's a weird spelling, but it's on the same island where the Dominican Republic is, and Haiti, right? So it's another little port. But it's a port, but it's not like a big port. You have to take a little boat from the ship to the port. It's called a jitney. See how much education you get? Because I didn't know what that was until I had to get on it. And I had to Google it. Because they assume that you know what a jitney is. I guess folks who do cruises regularly know what it is, but I didn't. So they bring this boat, it fits maybe 12, 9 people on, and then they take you to the port and they, like a taxi back and forth, right? Every place we went to St. Martin, to St. Thomas, Puerto Rico, somewhere 9-day cruise, beautiful. Everywhere was beautiful, sun, you know, hot, shopping, whatever. When we pull up that morning, I swear, that day. Do you know like that cloud that follows Charlie Brown's friend Pig, whatever his name is, but this is a little cartoon character that Pigpen, right? That is like this cloud of dirt, like follows them and lingers over. This is what I felt and saw when I was standing on the balcony and I saw this island. It was like a cloud, for real, like a dark gray cloud. And I didn't imagine it because it was raining. It had never rained in any of the places that we had gone except this one, before or afterwards. This only place. And so they were telling us about getting on the jitney and coming to the place. And it was, mm-mm, mm-mm. I just wasn't feeling it. Ronnie was loving it. She was going on the waterfall. She's, just enjoying it. And I'm like, I've seen enough. Where's the next jitney to get me back to the boat? She was feeling it. She's loving it. She's bringing home water and, sneaking, whatever. And I'm sitting, they had like this donkey cart, and me and these teenage boys whose parents were there who had come to the same conclusion, like, that's all right, we'll stay here. The three of us is on. And there's a boar in the weeds, well, whatever, what do you call it? Vegetation. We couldn't tell if that pig was dead, that boar was dead or alive because one eye was open. It may or may not have been breathing, and the fly was coming back and forth to it, but we don't know. That fly might have just been used to that particular boar. I don't know, but the three of us were just like, let's sit here and hope that we can get off this island. And they were ready to leave their parents and have the cart guy take us back to the port, but that was chancy too because it was not that secure. So it was just interesting the way it affected her. And I just don't know what it was, but that was I just ugh. So trying to take my mind off of the bullshit that's going on with the divine masculine and all of this other stuff. I work on my genealogy still because there's a lot, right? And I'm trying to get, like, I have this intuitive thought that there's some connection to France. Always have thought that. And even when Notre Dame had this horrible thing, it still was like, I, it's like I knew I saw the notification, like I was watching it when it was going on, and it was just like, wow, kind of, oh, I felt bad for the French people, and I was worried for the artifacts a bit. I didn't focus on it that much, but enough that I was like, hmm. And that French thing still came up because when I looked through the names of my father's family, they always kind of had like this French flair. So I'm like, well, were they in Louisiana? No. So what's going on? So again, this French thing keeps always coming up. And that was the first language I took in school. In the fourth grade, they started teaching me French. And I actually learned French and Spanish, which is my mother's native language is Spanish besides English, right? But French was just what they taught in that school for the fourth graders. And it helped me later on when I was working as a collection officer because I was doing Canada. And in some places in Canada back then, if you didn't speak French, they wouldn't talk to you. I would be able to speak enough that they would understand that this is not my first language, but I was making the attempt. So then they would all stop it and speak English because they all speak English anyway. Um, So I'm just trying to figure out what's going on and what this is. And then at the same time, it seems to correlate with mother's side and their experience somehow, knowing that sometimes the slave owners owned plantations in Barbados and South Carolina. Some of them owned plantations in Haiti before the slaves revolted and kicked that system out a lot earlier than the United States. But long before the Civil War, the Haitians, through the plantation owners, all that slavery is dead. They threw it out. They threw them out. So a lot of those slave owners who had properties in Haiti also would have had properties in Louisiana and New Orleans, right? Because that's the French quarter, right? That's the French influence in this area, right? Louisiana Purchase, all that. And I've done my Jed match stuff, so my parents are not related, but somehow or another, there's something here going on. There's a So over time, I've met people on Ancestry who happen to have DNA matches with me, and one of the blessings that I got while I was over the last year, since I've been on this path doing readings online and things like that, is I got a finally found someone who had a picture of my father's mother. Never seen her. No one's ever seen her. My father, she died when he was like 2. He didn't remember what she looked like. He didn't even realize that his sister wasn't his mother until he was ready to go to the military and he had to get his birth certificate out. It was that type of thing. So he had no recollection. Nobody did that I ever spoke to, and no one had a picture. And I found this girl online who's related to my grandmother, her grandmother, and my grandmother. Her great grandmother and my grandmother were sisters. And she came across a picture, and I was able to get that. But that is, see, though, for following the path, I don't know if y'all are getting this. It's like they will give you the desires of your heart, right? You take one step towards the gods, they take 10 steps towards you. So it's not like a reward system, but if they see you doing, if they see you trying, if they see you going, you know, staying focused, they'll help. They'll send some help. And I've been told at a spiritual event to get a little doll and dress her in blue and keep it near me when I'm doing my work. So I do that because I'm obedient. You give me a recipe, I follow it. You give me instructions, I do it the best I can. So I did that, and I made her a little dress, and she had little shoes, and they didn't tell me to put a hat on her, but I put a hat on her, like a Holly Hobby hat, and it has a front turned up. Cute little shoes. She's got panties, everything. Cute, 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 cute. And I set her, and I set my grandson and my son and my nephew's pictures around her, like she's guarding the boys, right? Don't you know when that picture came, my grandmother had a hat on in that picture. It looks just like the Madonna that I had made. And at first I was so, fixated on just her face and looking at how I could see my aunt, my aunt in her eyes, or one of my aunts, and my son was like, "Hey, mom, she could look like you." And then I realized that she had on the same hat. The hat is turned up just like the Holly Hobby doll that I made. So that to me is confirmation that she is one of the guides, and she wanted me to see her. So I made the doll, And then she let me see the image of what she really looked like to confirm me. So that's not about romantic love. That's about the love for your family and God, agape love and fraternal love and the love between parents and children. Tribal woman says, I get this totally. I've been on a path of my ancestry and I've had amazing things happen. Yes. So this is why I speak about setting up your ancestral altar, starting to do your research, talking to your aunts and your grandparents, your grandfather, whoever's around, whoever knows stuff. Start recording these things, whether it's videotape or writing things down in a journal, something. Keep some kind of record somewhere. You could upload it to YouTube and lock it, and no one has to see it except whoever you give the link to. Okay, you don't have to make a channel or anything like that. You have a channel because you're a YouTuber, and give your family history and stuff. Years later, your grandchildren, if we still have the World Wide Web, um, hmm, your grandchildren will hear your voice and see your story and see how you talked and what you looked like. What a gift that that can last generations. Imagine if you had a recording of your great grandmother right now, today. And there's advice, there's traditions that you could pass on like that in case your kids aren't going to pass them on. Or if you don't have kids, maybe you got nieces and nephews and stuff. Some people are the last people in their line and they know it. You might want to tell your story or check it out and find out what it is. So, still working on my stuff, trying to stay on the path, doing as led by spirit, but still have my moments. But as my grandfather says, in Invictus, he didn't write it, but I'm saying. Out of the night that covers me, black as the pole, black as the pit from pole to pole, I thank whatever gods may be for my unconquerable soul. For my unconquerable soul. In the fell clutch of circumstance, I have not winced nor cried aloud. Under the bludgeonings of chance, my head is bloodied but unbowed. Beyond this place of wrath and tears looms but the horror of the shade. And yet, the menace of the years finds and shall find me unafraid. It matters not how straight the gate, how charged with punishments the scroll. I am the master of my fate. I am the captain of my soul. Now that's my grandfather on my mother's side. He ain't make that up. That's Invictus. It's a famous poem. But when I saw this poem the first time, my friend sent it to me. And there was a portrait of the gentleman that wrote it there. And, they have the dates before, when you're born and when you die, right? The day that and the date. Don't you know the day that he died in whatever year it was is the same date my grandfather died in the year he died? Those type of things, those type of coincidences, those type of events, that's important. There's a reason for that. And so when I go through certain things, well, lately, that is like when I get to the place where I'm remembering Invictus by Hensley. That means that somebody has tried to undermine my control of my life. Look at the phone ringing, but I can't answer it because I'm on. Who that number is. That's the thing, getting strange calls from strange numbers these days. Whatever. Harassment. But I follow my intuition. Now, I'm not saying that that is wonderful. You know, there's a little darkness that's in that too. But that darkness is helpful sometimes to remember that, you know, nobody's pushover just because you're an empath. And unconditional love doesn't mean that you're going to kiss nobody's behind. And you do have a right to have standards. That doesn't make you, it doesn't mean that you're not compromising or whatever, but you have to know what you can tolerate and what you can't tolerate and learn how to compromise. Oh, tribal woman said to Mardina, I'm glad that you are protected by spirits and blessings. Yeah, that's the protection. So anyway, I'm trying to find different people on both sides who have kind of ghosted out. You know, you hit a wall, right? And I hit a wall early because on my mother's side, her grandfather passed away while they were building the canal, and apparently, allegedly, he died in the ship en route back to Barbados to get a cure, I guess. So there's no body. There seems to be no record. Again, no picture. Just a name. Didn't even have a date except based on when my grandfather was born and, you know, what my great grandmother had said. And I found him on the census, but he must have been dead already because they have him down as a boarder with her and the kids. She had boarders, and they were at the top of the list, and then her and the three boys, and then their father, my grandfather, same last name, is under them as a boarder, but I'm assuming they wanted to count him some way. So when I think I found where he was. Maybe they didn't know where he was. I don't know. Could have been. But I think that I found the ship that he might have been on and the notation in the captain's log of the death based on times and dates. So if he may have died early of May or something, maybe the census taker came in May and he was away and they didn't know and they just put him down. Or maybe they had heard that he died, but they weren't sure. So they put him down and they counted him. I don't know, but he was there. So it was a real person. But there was a lot, you know, like my grandfather looks very different from his brothers. They have different. My grandfather's very, very light skinned, and my great grandmother and my other great uncles were very dark skinned. Like, so what is that? Mystery. And somehow or another, someone said to me, looking on her DNA stuff, that she has, she's a match somehow. We can't figure out how or who, but she said maybe Guyana, you know, because she was asking where my people from. Anyway, long story short, and there's already been a long story. She said that she had a name of a relative that had taken the name of the owner of the plantation that he was on. And so it was a Jewish name. That's how they got this name, right? So I was like, I didn't never heard this name. I didn't see it anywhere, but let's see. So I look, Google the name. This guy is Jewish landowner, but he's French Jewish. And he has properties in Louisiana and Haiti. Wait a minute. What? Interesting. Still don't have this name on my list of people. But it's like, really? There's a theme? French Jewish? Okay. And then starting to do research, and you see the link between certain business owners and slavery and this and that, whatever. Okay. So there was a presence, or at least a business that prospered off of this work, this trading of human beings, slavery. So these people were French Jews. That would make sense. Louisiana, Haiti. Oh, really? Still don't got no name. So now this other girl who her last name is consistent with my family's. They use her last name as a middle name for some people in my family. So like, what's that about? It's a very repetitive name in Barbados. What's that about? Again, people who owned businesses opening up sugar factories and sugar plantations in Barbados, and that's the name of these people. So over time, it was used. Now Robert's in the house. See, okay, see. Now we got confirmation. All right, see that kind of stuff. But that's not the name, but it's like that. But yeah, I'm good, Robert. Thanks for showing up. Robert's in the house. Did everything go well on your date the other night? I was thinking about you. So this girl had said to me, send me your Jed match number. Let's see, if I come up on her Jed match, because it came up on Ancestry. I think I could have just seen her name and said, oh, and just started contacting her because she was on Facebook. Anyway, she's cool. We call each other cousin. It's all right. So when I'm looking at the reports, the spreadsheets in the Jet match, because I don't understand, it's lots of numbers and percentages, and y'all know I don't do no math, but there's a lot of this French Jew in the DNA. It's an actual like a delineation of a racial group that's French, and it's a lot of it. I'm like, whoa. Okay. And maybe Sinai, that I had such a feeling for, that is on the Dominican Republic island along with Haiti, maybe this was the port that they was moving people through. And I felt that somehow. I don't know. But that's what I'm getting. And this is today. This is this morning. And I was like, yo, this. And that's when they said, talk about those experiences and share them so that maybe we can refocus our attention sometimes to do things that are more spiritual with our intuition and not put all of our intuition towards romance, because we're here for the community, right? Okay, Robert says, okay, well that was good. She's reconsidering reconciliation. That's important. Katrilla says yes. Okay, so just I guess messages on how to refocus, on refocusing. Doesn't mean that you're giving up, not at all. But part of your spiritual journey is your work for the collective, for your family, right? So turn your energies. Of course, you're going to pray for the awakening and the protection of your DM, even if you think he might be a fake of karmic DM, whatever. We're not wishing no badness on nobody. And just ask for divine order. I don't know what Robert just said. You must have said something fresh because your message got detracted. But anyway, I'll see it later. Or you deleted it yourself. But doing this kind of stuff for your ascendants, not your for your descendants, not your ascendants, not your ancestors, but for the people who are coming after you, to explain to them about spirituality, like, you know, what it feels like, what it felt like when it first started. Who knows, maybe you'll have a teenage granddaughter one day when you're not around, or a great granddaughter, and they're like, oh, and then maybe they won't be so afraid of that awakening. Maybe they won't be thinking that they're going crazy when they're just being intuitive. You can help back them up when they're trying to explain to people that they aren't crazy. They can show their parents, listen, look, great grandmother said she had the same thing. So it won't be just a rumor. It'll be you sharing. Oh, Robert says that you want it all. Well, just keep yourself, just do the work on yourself. Don't focus as much on her. Ashe, Kata said, and stay on the path that you've been led to stay on. Whatever it is, whatever the work is that you've been led to do, whatever your gift is that you need to hone, no matter what it is, give it your best and keep spirit in your day, and be grateful, whatever it is, and continue to do what it is that spirit leads you to do. All good things. What else? What else? What else? What else? Practical intuition. So now, and there's a little bit of a Norwegian something in there too. And that's I was on the Norwegian cruise line when I went to Sinai. So I'm just saying. There's more to come, I'm sure, because this is starting to get interesting. But I was the reason with my aunt's name is like, her name was Marie Christine, kind of French. Agnes was my grandmother, kind of French. Ethelene, kind of French. There are other names of relatives of them that they have like their little French thing, and I was like, how come? What is that? So it might be that. It might be that. But it's interesting. But the Jed match with all this breakdown of all of this information, it's amazing how much you can find out just in you. But I swear to God, the first thing I did, and I even repeated it today because I did this year, when I first got it a few years back. Are your parents related? Because my parents look like each other, kind of, and they're not. They're not. But it's just interesting. And my father's family is closer to slavery times than my mother's family is. For my mother, I have to go back past my great grandmother, maybe to her mother or her grandmother. On my father's side, his parents were sharecroppers, their parents were slaves. So it's closer, but still get a wall. The British, who were in charge of Barbados, they kept better records, so you can get a little more from them on their side. I could take it pretty much back. But my father's side is a challenge. But this French part here, I'm finding this to be quite interesting. Even my sisters have French names now that I think about it. Not me. My name is quite British. So anyway, let's see what's going on. because we're here and everybody is being so sweet. Let's see. Let's pull some. Let's see. We can get something. This is from the Twin Flame Oracle. What is this called? Mystic Moon Oracles. Okay, let's see what's going on. If this relates to you. I kind of did something like this the other night. Is this your man? So let's see. I'll just do the reading, and then at the end you'll see if it resonates with you, and then I'll throw the dice, and we'll see whose man it is or whose partner. Right? Sounds good. Sounds like fun. Okay, see, Twin Flame. So I got a ding. Wow. You like your name, Kata? Yeah, Kata has a nice historical name. It's connected to something that means it means something. Robert says yes, it was my woman. Ha ha. Ha. Okay, so twin flame. So whoever it is, they are indeed your twin flame. Very passionate, but someone. Okay, look in this flame all around here. I don't know if you can see it, but there are little faces in these flames. And some of them look a little annoyed and jealous. So these may represent past loves. This could represent you and your partner's light and dark side coming together. See, like these are like dinosaurs, it looks like to me. They're kind of nuzzling one another. Katrina said she was told her gift came from her grandmother. Okay. One of her uncles was pronounced dead. She went to the window and cried out in the clouds, and a man appeared after she did that. Her uncle woke up. Trilla, that's true. It's my aunt, the same one that did the readings, told me that if you're there and somebody dies and you want that person to come back, if you cry out their name to the sky 3 times, they won't leave you. Now, I thought it was because this will keep their spirit close, but maybe it is a way to wake somebody up from the dead if you do it when you're right there. So maybe somebody needs to know that it's a possible that is it. That is something. Maybe some of us have that power. Who knows? Who knows? Mm. Conclusion. With a key and a lock. Looks like ice crystals around 2 hearts. See down there? And this is a heart, a white heart and a pink heart. So there's a key on a ribbon and a lock. Does that key fit that lock? Hmm? So, twin flame in conclusion. So maybe this is over. This is the end of this journey because someone's heart remains locked. What was that? I saw a light or something. Mm-hmm. Yeah. For somebody, that's what this message is about. One more. And then we'll see what's happening. Okay. Compromise. Bottom of the deck, divine masculine. And behind that is shadow work. All right, let's go. Let's go. So there's some shadow work that divine masculine needs to do. Maybe that's what he's doing now. That is the compromise. Maybe this is the compromise, is that the divine masculine needs to do his work on his shadows, on his issues. He needs to do his work. And someone may have come to the conclusion that until or unless the divine masculine works on his shadow, does his shadow work. I don't know if I showed you the card. This is shadow work. And that's the divine masculine. So as he's doing as he awakens and he does his shadow work, that is the compromise. Maybe you are keeping your heart locked until you see results of him. Okay, him doing his work. That's what's happening. So someone is standing with they're keeping they're not allowing themselves to feel or to be open any longer until the compromise is made, and the compromise is the divine masculine doing shadow work. So for some of you, that could be in the physical, if he needs counseling, psychiatric, oh wow, psychiatric counseling, or something that he needs to work on from his childhood, like maybe some past life regression or some therapy or something like that. Your partner, you may feel, or your partner may feel that they can't come to you, that this twin flame relationship won't be concluded or is concluded until they work on themselves. And you're not to compromise. From the twin flame messages, no one compares to you. That is an affirmation. This morning on the news, was it? I don't know. It might have been the news. The girl that was talking said that. And she wasn't, and I know that's a song by Prince that was sang by Shania. What's this girl's name? She got in trouble with the Pope because she mocked him on Saturday Night Live years ago. Sinead O'Connor, I think, Irish, yeah. Okay. Oh, Tribal Woman said that she's exciting that I've shared this information, and it's inspiring to find out more about her ancestry. And great, 10-4. Excellent. Renee, late night reading at 6 a.m. Okay. And Tribal Woman says, my dreams and my pendulum really guide me. I talk to my ancestors on a daily basis. They're wonderful putting the answers in my dreams. Right, exactly. They'll come to you in your dreams. They'll come to you in your daydreams. They'll just come to you, but you have to be accepting and open for it. Don't fight it, and you're not going crazy. Okay, you're not. Now, that girl said she said nothing compares to you. Something in the news that she was talking about, and then she didn't even say in the words of Prince or anything. She just said it, and so now, so this is a confirmation for somebody. Your twin flame feels that nothing compares to you, no one. So maybe your partner is a Prince fan or Sinead O'Connor fan. Okay. All right. Thanks everybody. I know this is long, but I wanted to give y'all something for being here because I know everybody ran over here saying, "Ooh, I can get a reading." Hmm. Hmm. So for conclusion, it says, "I know I screwed things up, and honestly have no idea how to fix it." And that fell on top of conclusion. So someone is taking responsibility for fucking up. Well, that's good. That's almost an apology, but we can take that, right? So your intensity frightens me and allures me all at the same time. And that would be on top of compromise. So, yes, this is reminding me part of the lesson. When you may find yourself warning people now that you've become more awakened and you're seeing and hearing things, you might be warning people, and some people don't want, they don't want to know, they don't want to hear it from you. They're like, you're paranoid, or it makes them paranoid because now they know that you have abilities. Oh my goodness, I'm getting this tingling here. Okay, they know that you have abilities, but um like you warning them, like because spirit told you something. Some people, it's too much, they can't take it. So for some of you, that could be the compromise, that even though your masculine knows that they messed up and that they love you and no one compares to you, maybe the awakening that he's witnessing in you, and maybe the information that you're trying to share with him, maybe warnings, things like that, maybe it's too much. And so maybe he's asking for a compromise where you kind of back off on that. And I had that experience with my son. I was seeing things, and he said, "You know what, Ma, I'd rather you not tell me." Now that crushes me. Oh, Renee, thank you so much. Renee gave a super chat $10. Ah, Shay, bless you. Bless you so much. Thank you so much. Oh, okay. She said that this reading is what's going on with her divine masculine. And Robert said that's something his ex would say. Katrilla said, "Thank you, Renee. Thank you so much." So it could be that he wants you to put a little, dim your light a little bit. Let him go through these lessons. And it's worrisome because if you have had, like my daughter, I wasn't speaking to her, she was pregnant with the baby, she down south somewhere. Big long story. Anyway, I wasn't had nothing to do with it at all. My sisters and my mother, of course, they all in it. So I'm at work and my sister calls me, and part of my duties at this point, I was a captain. So I did patrols around the island and check on my offices, make sure the perimeter is secure. So I'm driving. This is New Year's Eve, I'm working because there are no holidays and corrections. Every day, they need to give care, custody, and control to people behind bars. Remember that. So I'm working that day. Must have been morning. I don't know, but it was daytime. And my sister calls me and she's like, "Oh, my daughter is so uncomfortable, and the baby's aren't due to February. She's having twins." Ding, yeah. And my sister's, I was like, I don't care. So she's telling me what the names are. I'm like, I don't care. She names them Jehoshaphat and Jeremiah. Don't care. That's how I was at this point. I'll deal with the babies when they come. I don't care. She's all right. And the babies will do like the beginning of February, and it's December 31st, New Year's Eve. I'm working. I said, first of all, I don't even understand why the doctor is making her stay pregnant. I mean, they can induce the labor. She's got twins. I'm sure them babies are cooked by now. That's what I said. Those babies are cooked. My sister said the babies are not due until that's 3 more weeks or whatever. I was like, whatever. The doctor knows, but I think that's ridiculous because if she has them today, she could claim them for the year, right? My sister's like, you're a mess. That's what I'm just saying, being practical. My sister calls me back about an hour and a half later and she says, you know, you really are a witch. I was like, why? She said, do you know while we were talking, Darius's water broke and she went to the hospital and had the babies. Her name is Darius. I'm sorry for putting that out there. But anyway, shaking your head, right? But that's how, you know, so I know I don't think I speak stuff into existence like that. I don't manifest like that. I don't believe that maybe, but I don't think so. I think it's just that I don't it just comes. I don't it's not I'm seeing it. It's just comes in a thought, a sentence, something, and I say it, and then the next thing you know, it works. I don't know. But that's the gift. Didn't know that was the gift then. I just knew that was, like a family joke, like they would call me like tiptoe through the tulips because I was always optimistic about shit, but whatever. Kata says, and so as you think it's right, right, as you think it. So thank you, Kata. So the lesson there is the power of your thoughts. Just that little thought. Well, I don't know why the doctor wouldn't let her go ahead and have the baby today. That way she can claim them next year on on last year's taxes. I don't know the doctor. I haven't spoken to my daughter in 8 months. I don't know nothing except what my sisters and my mother tell me. I know where she is, but they're all the way in that Georgia somewhere. And she had those babies New Year's Eve that day. Mm, things like that. That kind of stuff. Pay attention to that when that type of thing, if that's one of your gifts, I don't know. You can't so far. I don't know if I could predict like if somebody I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if I would be able to predict something. Maybe that's about me having confidence. Maybe that's what this is about. Learning that you can have confidence in your gift, in your intuition, in the messages. Have confidence because you continually get confirmations. So pay attention to the messages that you get and pay attention to the confirmations that you get for the work that you do. That is also spirit speaking up. So the card that came out while I was doing all of that talking for the divine masculine is I finally I'm finally feeling the consequences of my actions. Okay. So he's feeling, I don't know if it's guilt, well, it's guilt, but it's more than guilt. It's like watching his own karma. He's seeing, okay, yeah, he's seeing his own karma. He's watching his own karma. Now let's see. Shadow work is clarified with you feel like home to me. And for some of them, then what I'm getting is that is about some childhood issues, some mother work, maybe something. He feels comfortable with you because you remind him of home or you remind him of his mother. And that is part of the holdup. Oh, okay. For some of you, that's part of the holdup, and you don't even know what it is. Bottom of the deck, maybe we're just too different. But for some of you, you remind him of his mother somehow, and maybe that was not the best relationship. Maybe for some of you, your divine masculine's mother abandoned him in some way. Maybe she was distant. So maybe that's why he's used to being at a distance from someone who loves him. Ooh. This microphone is playing games with me today. Okay. Let me know if you all can still hear me. Katrilla says he tells me that all the time, that you remind him of his mother. So for some of us, you know, if a man tells you you remind him of his mother, you think that's nice. You can hear me? Thank you, Robert. Mm-mm. For some of us, you reminding him of his mother is a trigger that he might not want to talk about. Because then maybe he feels that he would be disloyal to his mother because he loves his mother. But again, there's an image for some of them that they don't want to smear about their mother. And by telling you, not only that you remind him of his mother, but the bad things about his mother that causes the fact that you remind him of his mother to trigger him, he might feel as disloyal. Okay, that's why I was speaking about my son and the disloyalty earlier. Oh, Jesus, somebody, this is for you. So there is a fear to do the shadow work because it'll feel like they're being disloyal to their mother if they talk about the hurt or whatever happened that has given them reason to pause. Hmm. Okay, Madina, take the beads and wash them. Excuse me. In that bluing, there's a cube of bluing and some effun. Get some milk, some water, the bluing and the effun, and put the beads in that water in a bowl and give it a white candle. Katrilla. Oh, Katrilla said that her divine masculine says that she even looks like his mother. Makes sense, right? We pick people that remind us of our fathers, males, the ones of, whoever. There's some y'all get it, familiarity between your divine masculine, and some male figure in your life. Could be the height, could be he's tall, skinny, fat, whatever. His voice, the way he laughs, his accent, something remind you of somebody else. That's why he got your attention in the first place. And that's with anybody. Anybody that you have a relationship with, something about them reminds them of an important figure in your life. From the Twin Flame Shadows deck, and I guess this is the response from some of you. It says excuses. So some of us are not feeling too accepting or open to this, what we just spoke about for the divine masculine. For some of you, don't care. Think it's an excuse. You did the work, he needs to do the work. He ain't special. Everybody's been hurt. That's somebody's attitude at this point. They're sick of this. And they feel scorned. That's the reason for the attitude. And they are ready to go to war. Hell hath no fury. I was listening to this comedian the other night. He was not that funny, kind of half funny. But he was speaking about how, you get all these stories about crazy women and how they act with their men and this and that. How come you don't hear stories about crazy men? Because usually the ones that tell the story about the crazy women are the men that, they felt the woman was overdoing it, doing it too much, stalking them, whatever. The crazy girlfriend, the crazy ex. We all hear about the crazy ex. We even tell ourselves the stories of the stupid shit we did, the crazy ex. And so this guy's a comedian and he says, you know what? What? Women are the only ones who are crazy? Women are the only ones that have emotions? Women are the only ones that go overboard? No, men do too. The difference is there's no woman to tell it because usually it ends up with the woman is dead and the guy's in jail. And that's why you don't hear the stories of the crazy boyfriends. That hit me like, he was making a joke, but it was like, interesting. 6 and 6 here. Okay. 2 sixes, and it's 12:42. 1 hour and 37 minutes. That's 11. Anyway. Yeah. No, you don't want to be looked at like his mother. Exactly. You're not his mother. And but it's a trigger. It's part of the work he has. Walking away falls on top of compromise, and your intensity frightens and allures me at the same time. So there's some of you, some of us who are just ready to walk away because you are who you are. You're working with your spirit. You're continuing on your path. You've already been hurt and scorned by this person. You feel that they are just making excuses. And so your response is, I'm going to walk away. Divine Masculine says he's feeling the consequences of his actions. And your response is invading. So you know that he's been spying on you, and that's the consequences of his actions. He's been invading your space. Some of you, maybe that's what it is. Maybe your divine masculine is a stalker. As much as they may be thinking the divine feminine is a stalker, maybe you have a divine masculine that's a physical stalker. So be careful and also be aware. Check your social media, check your bank accounts. Someone is watching. For some of you, this invading is some other person that is trying to interfere in your relationship also. And that eye is green, so there's some jealousy that's trying to invade the space. And there was a video that I shared yesterday that I came across talking about at this time that a lot of the karmics are going all in, and I've said it before. The same way we're awakening, they're awakening too, all right? Bad and good. So they're getting strong, we are getting strong. That's why we have to work as a collective together to pray for each other so that we can be strong for our divine masculines and for the divine feminines to be strong and be protected as we go forward. This is warfare, babes. Like I said, this is not just about a white dress. This is you being selected if you are part of this twin flame scenario. You're selected and special and needed. But there is powers and principalities. Robert, you can get a card. You know how much? Throw a sister a dime. You were just here. I just gave you a reading the other day. What should you do with the chalk? Take it and crumble it into the basin with the bluing. That's from Mardina. Crumble it in there with the bluing. If you have any white rum, that would be cool too. If not, put Florida water in the water and put them in there. Don't throw them away. That's deep. Hey, doll. You don't have to use the whole thing. Just, milk, effun, some of the bluing in a basin or a bowl or whatever with the bracelets. And then I'll call you later. Just put it and put a white candle next to it. Put it on your altar. And you feel like home to me. It's covered by elusive. So shadow work and you feel like home to me, covered by elusive. Someone may be coming by your home. And you're trying to avoid them. Or someone may be someone that you're not aware of, maybe. Be careful when you're coming in and leaving. Pay attention to your surroundings. It could also be saying that someone, like I was saying in the video, they were saying that there's a lot of shadow work going on by the karmics right now. Could be someone who's close to them. You feel like home to me. Could be someone, it could be family. And you can't see it. And they can't see it. But it's being done behind the scenes to invade this relationship. So start protecting yourselves. Epsom salt baths, right? Water, salt baths. Something to remove negativity. And then after that bath is finished, you take the bath 3 days. Take the bath for 3 days, whatever your protection bath is. Use Epsom salts. If you don't have it, use regular bath salts. Because it's about your intention. Because I know some people don't live in communities or aren't close to stuff. So you do the best you can. Sea salt. If you live near sea water, go get some and add it to your tub. Get a bottle. Add it to it. It'll make it all seawater. My overdraft isn't good either. And that's what's going on. That's a Pisces thing right now. Anyway. Again, part of the journey, part of the lessons. So you're gonna take 3 baths. that are like salt baths, uh, protection. I don't know. Would say jinx removing, hoodoo removing, whatever. If you ain't got all of that, get some sea salt from the supermarket. They sell it near the kosher salt and the regular salt. Put that in your water. Get some Florida water. Y'all know Florida water comes in that kind of bottle, smaller than that mostly. And light a white candle. Say your prayers. Know that you and your home and your possessions are protected. 3 days. And then on the fourth day, you're going to make a bath with milk, efun cascarillo. It comes little containers like this, white. You can get this at any Botanica. They sell them on Amazon. Just look for cascarilla. Cascarilla. I said it just now. Cascarilla. Put in efun, EFUN in Amazon or in Google. Sooner or later, you'll get to it. Come like big bags of it for like nothing, for $5, $3, $3.50, whatever. Get that. If you can, add that, crumble it into the water for your bath. And if you can get bluing from the supermarket also, they might have it in Botanicas. If you go to Botanicas, they'll have the Efun Cascarilla. They'll have bluing. Go to the laundry section and little bluing. They used to use it to make your shirts whiter. If you wear a white shirt, it's a color, it's bluing, it's a color brightener. If not, maybe you have it in your laundry detergent that's blue. I don't know, but you can get it. It ain't hard. If you can't get it, then you can't get it. Add some of that to the water with this cascarilla and some milk and some Florida water, and get after on the fourth day, you're going to start taking 3 baths of this. So make the mixture up to add to your bath. Or if you have a shower, put it in a spray bottle and spray it all over you when you're in the shower. While you're taking these baths, you're praying for protection, you're being grateful, and you're praying for yourself, you're praying for your masculine, and you're praying that this karmic can get themselves on their correct spiritual path, because they have a spiritual path too. They're God's children like the rest of us, but that they can release their attention away from this, go and do something positive for themselves, because they're holding themselves up from their twin flame probably, or their soulmate. No matter what the situation is, it could be his mother. She may need a soulmate too, or at least she might need a boyfriend or girlfriend. I don't know. But be careful, protect yourself. If you have other things that you do, those are just suggestions. If you have other baths that you take or other ways, saging your house is good. Making sure you stay in your prayers, then you should be good and have faith and believe and know that the light cannot defeat the dark. But you only can defeat your enemy when you know that the enemy is there, right? Just saying. You can't act like it ain't happening when it is. But you're not sending nothing to nobody bad, or you're just protecting yourself. So if it doesn't exist, no harm, no foul. All right, let's see. Signs from Spirit Love Oracle for what is it? What is the message from Spirit for all of this happenings that's happening here, for whoever this is for, whoever these messages resonate with, who is trying to work on their spirituality, and at the same time, some of us are trying to navigate this twin flame journey, and we're getting discouraged, or we've reached blockage, no communication, no contact, or we've given up. Ding, crucify, nail. Excuses. No one compares to you, twin flame. Nail. Crucify. Hmm. Some of you they feel as some of you are being lied on and blamed for something. Someone is trying to pin something on you that is not your doing. Or even if it is your doing, they're trying to expose you and put you for ridicule. Ridicule. So like embarrassed. So for those of you who are dealing with your twin flame and you feel like this is excuses, no one compares to you. Somebody's the message just came, they're trying to protect you because you're being blamed for something. And they're trying to protect you. And that's why they said no one compares to you. And you think it's an excuse, but they feel that they're protecting you from something or somebody. Hat and rolls. So to me, as soon as I seen this just now, it's like the Romance Angel Oracle deck. There's someone's wearing a false mask. Like this is, they gotta stay in this lane. They have a role to play, and if they have to, you. Thank you, Katrilla. Thank you for the super chat. Also, hi Autumn. Autumn says good day. This scorned. This is something they have to do to protect you. They know that you are feeling this way, but this is the role that has to be played. This is the hat they have to wear right now. And you feel like you're being betrayed and crucified. For some of you. Autumn 71 said hello, Catrilla. Walking away is covered by lack, rebellion, and pessimism. So this fell on top of compromise. Your intensity frightens me and allures me at the same time, and walking away, lack, rebellion, pessimism. So you are not feeling optimistic about the situation at all. You may be experiencing some loss, financial loss, lack of motivation, feeling of abandonment, and you're tired of it. You're standing up to it because you don't care no more, because you are walking away. Because you're sick of the fakeness. Sick of the fakeness. Hit the nail on the head. And if that's how it has to go, then there's a sacrifice that you're going to have to make. But you are tired. Some of us are tired. Some of us are tired. Ooh, Kata says everyone has a role to play. Life is a stage. Play your role or lose your place. Damn. It's a little heavy, but So would you, if you're the third party, you're supposed to like play your part, play your role, or should you try not to be a third party and walk away from it? Ooh, okay. So this is confirming what Kate is just saying. Web and a cosmic plan. So this strife, this struggle, all that's going on is part of your contract, part of the plan. That's what you signed up for. These complications. The invading for some of you is that your divine masculine or your partner, whoever that you are thinking about with this, is coming into your dreams or in your thoughts through their telepathic. Remember, if they're awakening, even if they're not, they're divine masculine, just like you're divine feminine. They may not be aware of their power, just like you may not have been aware of your power until now. And so their thoughts, if they're thinking about you and you're and suddenly you start thinking about them, maybe that's the invasion. Or some of you may be thinking that they are being manipulative, invading, elusive web, that they're trying to get you caught up in a web, or this is a web you find yourself caught up in, this matrix, but they're saying that it's part of the cosmic plan. So don't freak out. It is as it's supposed to be, they say. Because this is part of you learning how to protect yourself from the dark. Holy shit. Learning how to protect yourself from the dark. And to be confident. Because that is your role, to defeat the dark. Rocket and Voyage. That falls on top of Elusive. You feel like home to me. Holy shit. And Shadow Work. Okay. Somebody in this matrix with the rest of the collective, some of you have lived previous lifetimes or linear timing. Why maybe you feel out of place here, and why your divine masculine for some of you is drawn to you and you can't put your finger on it. It's the answer is elusive. So maybe some of you are part of the awakened that have lived a linear life or previous existence away from the planet Earth. I think they refer to them as Palladian, some of them. And maybe that's the whatever. Y'all know. That's why they feel so familiar. You remind them of home and their mother. She said she's hell sometimes. Oh my goodness. Yeah. So for some of you, that's what I'm getting. That there is, this is part of the voyage. This is part of the journey. But you are on the fast track. This is taking off. All of these things are propelling you towards back home. They said back home. Part of the awakening. That's relevant for someone. It would be relevant for all of us. I was going to say this earlier. So those things that you think are coincidences, things that worked out for you when you didn't think anything was going to work out, that wasn't luck. You're the ladybug. That was your protection. It wasn't luck. That was your intuition directing your path. That wasn't luck. That was your ancestors paying attention to the small details for you and doing things behind the scene when you didn't know what was happening. That little thing that bothers your ear. Ladybug. Ladybug is some spiritual animal, I believe. Let me look that up. People are going to hate this. It's so long. But I don't care. I have to give it. Spiritual. Oh. Okay. Okay. The ladybug spirit animal has always been a symbol of good luck. If you have a wish that you would like to come true, the ladybug is a symbolism that your wish will be granted very soon. Hello, Cheney. Can I give you some guidance about school? Sure. Just give me a second. Let me finish this. I'll do that. Okay. So make a wish on a ladybug and watch it fly away. And that'll make your wish come true. And that was just updated on February 27, 2019. So it's not old. It's been updated. Make a wish and watch it fly away. Magic is everywhere, and it can be certain that the universe is cooking up something wonderful for whenever this ladybug appears. So pay attention. You can expect happiness in your life and a blessing of abundance. And a badger totem, they said just like a badger totem. So if you see a badger, that's the same energy. It could also represent your childlike nature. Honeybees also represent a childlike nature within you. There's going to be change. But what you have to remember is to make sure that everything that you do is fueled by love and joy. And the dots on the ladybird's shelf on her body, that's a reminder to be grateful for the little things and the big things. Because when you are thankful, you develop a certain awareness that all of your blessings come through to you with hard work and perseverance. So whatever gifts you've gotten, it's coming to you because of your hard work and your perseverance. You may not even realize that you were doing it, but certainly you were. And that is the site is trustedpsychicmediums.com. Trustedpsychicmediums.com. That's where that information came from. So something's going to change. Things are going on behind the scenes that you may or may not be aware of, but there is going to be a change of circumstances in your favor because this is like a standstill, right? It's like you've won. Now, when I was listening to these women talk about this situation with someone trying to block you and to separate you, some darkness, they didn't sound too hopeful because they're saying that they're sending walk-ins now. Walk-ins are other people that's going to take the place of the twin. So you might meet somebody who's a walk-in. That's what they call it. If your twin is not going to do, or it's taking too long, that's what they said, taking too long to be obedient, they're going to be replaced with someone who will. And and then you got to go through lessons with that one too. But this would be someone who is closer to your level, and it'll be a lesson for your divine masculine about being slowful or indecisive. That's what that lesson would be for them. That they have received the gifts, they're aware of the gifts, they're using the gifts for themselves, but they're not doing what they're supposed to do. And they're not honoring the journey. They're not honoring their part of the contract, so they're going to be relieved of those duties and someone else will come. So you won't be alone. You're not going to be a spinster. None of that. Patience, grasshopper. Kate said patience, grasshopper. All right. I don't know how to use, but there's a special spread for these. These are a Lenormand deck. The Enchanted Lenormand by Caitlin Matthews. I had it on my altar. I've been sleeping with it the whole 9 yards, but I didn't think that it would work. But let's see. So this is supposed to give more of an in-depth something. Let's just get one. See what I can get a message. This one card for the collective, whoever's drawn to this, regarding this situation. Okay. As we learn to turn our attention to other things besides this journey, we still want to know because we're still human. Number 17. It's a stork. Somebody having a baby. You're going to hear news of a pregnancy. A water sign. Water sign female is pregnant. And that's the nail. That's why he's stuck, because he got somebody pregnant. For some of you. 1 and 7 is 8. 17. 1 and 7 is 8. When there's a little apple hanging over there in the corner. There was a temptation. And he may be afraid that he's gotten somebody pregnant. Or someone may be accusing him of a pregnancy. Or someone's in school and they got pregnant. There's a temptation with a water sign. So either your divine masculine is a water sign, or this person may be there trying to get child support or maintenance from them. And they're feeling the pressure. They feel like they're being crucified because they want to go for back child support for a child that they didn't know of before. Whoa. Number 11. Manifestation. There's the broom. And the Jack of clubs. I know that broom is important. Well, we know 11 is manifestation. Cleaning out the shadow stuff. Whew. keeps number 11. Okay, so this talks about something that is someone or something that's angry, something that is repetitive, something that is like goes on and on and on. And this is on top of roles and scorned and the key. And I know I screwed things up. So you've heard this before over and over and over again. It's getting to be repetitive. And you want to have a discussion or you want to walk away from this. All right. Somebody's stirring up stuff, trying to make trouble. We said that before. It also talks about somebody blowing the whistle. Someone may be telling a truth. Something may get exposed. This talks about giving somebody the brush off. Blocking someone talks about someone who may have a questionable sexual orientation or fetish. They're trying to sweep that under the rug. And this also talks about someone doing some unethical financial movements that are being watched, that's being looked at, that's been discovered. Okay, so somebody may have been messing around, got somebody pregnant, they trying to get child support, but there's something going on. Maybe someone's not submitting the right documentation or whatever, but whatever it is being scrutinized and looked at for some of you. I mean, it's a scandal for some people, but it's something that is being looked at. If you're new in the room, please give us some thumbs up. And if this makes sense to somebody, please put comments below or send me an email with those comments. All righty, so someone, so this is the fish, shark, number 34, king of diamonds. Is that a king? Yeah. 34. So there may be a male around you that's a little cutthroat. Very focused on his money. Yeah. Could be a water sign again. Very focused on their money. And very shady. 7 and rats. 7 of clubs and mice. Rats, number 23. Change. So this talks about family, home, things that go on behind closed doors or in the dark that no one knows about. 7 is important for you somehow in this also, because this one with the shark is 34, and 3 and 4 is 7, and this is a 7 of clubs. A lot of activity. Could be some movement, secret movements. People. This is a web, right? This is a web. There's a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes, a lot of talking, a lot of sneaky behavior, backstabbing. And it could be with family members, close friends, has something to do with money negotiations, someone trying to feather their own nest at other people's expense, I just heard. Ooh, it has to do with a woman. And this is an ace. So, ace of spades. And number 29, which is 11. So you got 11 again in here. Someone who is an important female figure. We're going back to that mother stuff. Who is directing or is involved somehow in stirring up these issues, these problems. Again, something about the way that you remind them of their mother is related somehow to this. Somehow related to the absence, the separation, the quiet. Ooh, as soon as I opened the book, there it is. Women's clubs, sororities, women's only events, an adult daughter, a girlfriend, a single female, could be a female coach, could be a mother, someone that you've known for a long time, or someone that you think will be he thinks is going to be a lifetime partner, or you are a lifetime partner. Someone who's very resourceful, does everything, takes care of the house, shopping, schedules, menus, all of that. Very resourceful. Could be a woman who is past the stage of menopause. Could be an older woman, again, a mother figure. Something about the mother. This talks about someone who is trying to make an older woman their rival. A stepmother, because, all right. Yeah, this is, if this is on the same spread as that, this is talking about stepmother. Yeah, 17 is for foster mother. 15 would be for a motherly woman, and 13 would be for a girl child. We don't have 13 here. We only have, okay. And so the combination of the mice card and the woman card talks about someone who is very thin, a woman who is very thin, they said, who is a self-sabotager and wasteful. So someone who maybe spends a lot of money, that kind of a person. That may be why people are having problems with their banking accounts right now, because someone may be doing some heavy spending. The fish does talk about someone who is independent and an entrepreneur, a businesswoman. That don't stop you from overspending, and it doesn't stop you from being a good housewife or a good housekeeper. So this seems like some of the blockage is issues with mothers or stepmothers, Someone may be trying to block the relationship who is an adult family member. This person may be doing some wasteful spending, some sneaky activities. You might want to keep an eye on that one. Or your partner may want to keep an eye on those people. But that person or those people, that's what needs to be protected from. So it could be a mother, stepmother, grandmother, adult daughter, family members, and it's going to be hidden because it's shadow work. And even though you feel scorned and even though you're ready to walk away, protect yourself. Okay, so wanted me to pull a card for them was school, tan moon, Cheney, right. Guidance about school. Real quick, Cheney. Let's get the answer is simple because this has gotten to be 2 hours and 21 minutes. All right, let's see. Cheney, can we get some advice for Cheney about school? This is the answer, simple deck. Information about the cards will be in the description. All right. And we have, oh. Poof. Be courageous. You are not alone. And accept love. So I would say if you want to go to school, you should do that. Be courageous. Don't be afraid. If there are loans, financial gifts, if you need to apply for financial aid, don't be afraid or ashamed to do it. Accept any offers of financial help to help you while you go to school or anything that can help, assistance, helping you with transportation, babysitters, I don't know. But they're saying to accept the love. Okay? Don't be afraid, be courageous. It's good. So I don't know what the exact situation is, but if this is something that you want to do, go ahead and do it. 8 and 10 is 9. That reduces to 9. Courageous is 8. You are not afraid is 10. So that's 9. And accept love is 39. 3 and 9, 10. It's 12. That's 3. And 9. 9 and 3 is 10, 11, 12. 12. 3. So, yes, you're protected. This is what you're supposed to do. Go to school, if that's what you do. Whatever you do, be accepting of help. Be courageous. Know that you're protected. Don't be afraid you are not alone. All right, so let's see what card we pull for Robert and then for Katrilla. All right, thank you, Katrilla, again for your super chat. Appreciate it. And Renee for her super chat. Thank you too. Every little bit helps. Okay, this is going to be for Robert. Let's give Robert some advice. He had a date with his girl. Everything went well. He thinks. Oh, number 37, clean up your mess. So, Robert, you know what that is. Look at that. And this is the broom. And the stork. All of that is in this. Oh, and oh, that's a squirrel. I was going to say it was a rat. Oof. Yeah. Clean up your mess, Robert. You know what the mess is. I think you're working on it, but I think that you have to be a little humble. Something has to be cut out. So 37 for him is reduces to 1. So this is about you. Rein in your ego and set things straight. What pain has your ego inflicted recently on your partner or on yourself? What have you done that was careless that caused someone else to lose their confidence or had to have to clean up your mess? So it's about returning to the scene of the crime and with your spirit, set things right. 4 and 7. 4 thumbs up, 7 thumbs up, 4 people in the room, that's 11. Ashe. Kata says, I thought you were trying to get a nut. You stupid. Anyway, clean up your mess. All things can be healed if you are willing to clean up the mess that you made of them. So taking responsibility for your role in the present controversy. All right. You're welcome, Tan. You're welcome, baby. I hope that that resonated for you. Oh, well, this was going to be for, I said Katrilla, right? I was going to pull a card for Katrilla. It says, it's not an emergency. And put others first. It's not an emergency. 1 and 6 is 7. And 4 and 3, which is 43, is 7. So this is definitely a message. It's not an emergency. Put others first. Kachilla gives you a big smiley face. Okay, so she understands what that is. I think it is saying, though, that maybe you need to see about your health. It's not an emergency, but it might be something that you want to, maybe a blood pressure or something. You need to pay attention to that. Get some rest. Look at this. There's a little mouse underneath the damn bed in the hospital room. Okay. So pay attention to things that are going on around you. May have something to do with a young woman. Maybe there's a young woman that's making you think that something is an emergency when it's not that serious. I don't know what that's for. Maybe that's connected to this situation. Put others first. Well, that goes along with cleaning up your mess and praying for protection for your family, yourself, and for the redirecting of energies of the karmic. Redirection of energies. Redirection of positive energies for the karmic. So make sure when you take that bath, you light it. If you can get a 7-day candle, you can light it the first day and let it keep burning until it's over. Until you finish the baths. Don't blow it out. It'll go out by itself. But pay attention. Make sure you put it in something that's fireproof. If you can't do a 7-day candle, okay, this is like a 7-day candle. You can get it at the grocery store. If you live in a place that has grocery stores, bodegas have them everywhere. Okay, get a white candle. If you can't, every time you take a bath, see if you can light even a tea light. That's fine. You don't have to stay in the bath long, but if you do, you do. Some people stay 21 minutes. Some people say 7 minutes. When you get out, just step out. Don't dry yourself off. Hopefully you have a white towel or something to dry off with. Step onto white if you can. If you can't, you can't. But if you have like a white bath mat or a towel or something that's white, when you step out of the tub, when you're getting out of the tub after you take any spiritual baths, don't let don't step out of the tub until all of the water has gone down the drain as you stand there. And then step out of the tub, step onto the white and cover yourself with white. If you have it, if you don't, you don't. There's a color maybe that you resonate with. Use that if you don't have white. Go to bed. If you can put on white pajamas, fine. If not, okay. If you have white sheets, better. If not, whatever. And you can burn a candle while you're sleeping, or if you can't or you don't want to, maybe leave on a night light while you're asleep. And that's another thing. If you find that you get a lot of nightmares or spirit visitations during the night, leave a light on somewhere. Don't sleep in the dark. When you had your awakening, the karmic and her mother came to you, Katrilla. Oh, anyway. Pay attention to your surroundings, protecting yourself, cleaning up your mess, making this amends. And don't forget to be grateful. Say thank you. Thank you even to this divine masculine, even though he's messy. There are lessons that you learn that are going to be golden for you in the future. Okay? It's positive experience for you later. You'll see by and by, right? That's like that they used to say. You'll see it'll all work out. You've been burning candles for the last year? Okay. Just be careful. Make sure that you monitor the candles while you're burning them. But yeah, it's good. They came to you this morning. Well, I guess that you were supposed to hear this. Do your protection. Do those baths. Okay? Was there anybody I had missed? Katrilla, Nay. Yeah, okay. So anyway, thank you everyone. Katrilla and Kata and Tom and Tamoon. I knew somebody with that name. That's weird. Okay, Renee Perron. Oh, I didn't mean to say your last name. Sorry. Katrilla Autumn. Thank you. Robert, as usual. Thank you. Mardina, thank you. And I'll be calling you in a little while. Tribal Woman, thank you so much. Yes, do that work on your ancestry, darling. I'm telling you. Monica, thank you so much. Okay. So, thanks everybody for hanging out. And I know this is long, but I think there's a lot of information on here. May be helpful for someone. All right. So if any of this resonates with you, pay attention to the messages. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Give me a comment. Let me know how this resonates for you. And try to use this advice. Renee says no. No. Well, after the bath, don't have sex that night. Let yourself sleep. Unless you're led to do it, I don't know. I wouldn't, but you actually, your spirit guides, it's okay. If it's okay, it's okay. Because we're not trying to do anything. We're not luring anybody. This is not an attraction. This is a protection. So you don't know if your divine masculine is part of, the rat committee here. Because you want to protect yourself and your family. You also want to protect him, but you want to protect yourself in case he's the enemy too. Okay? And so I wouldn't, but if that's how you feel, ask your ancestors, ask your spirit guides. That's what they're there for. Ask. They'll tell you. Ooh. Four of Pentacles. Somebody wants stability, but they also want control of you. Somebody wants you to relax and allow them to make decisions for you. Mm. You're going to be so comfortable that you are not going to realize what's going on behind in the back. But you'll be comfortable. Oh, I'm glad, Renee. I'm glad. I'm glad. That's why they made me do it. Somebody needed to hear it. So don't forget to share them with other people. You don't know other people's circumstances. They could be going through something similar to you. Oh my goodness. Look, back here, that kind of looks like a little squirrel or a mouse back there behind her. See? There's stuff going on. And someone wants to, they want you to sit back and relax and let them handle this. So maybe that's part of the protection. But they're going about it in a really strange way. And they don't realize that they're vulnerable themselves. I was drawn to the Achilles heel, which is about being vulnerable. Okay, so they might be thinking that they're protecting you, but they're controllers. That person you're dealing with likes to be in control of things, but there's love. Is that damn Two of Cups. Ooh. And the High Priestess. So it's about following your intuition because you have the keys to unlock the mysteries, the knowledge. Look at that. They told me to wear a damn ankle bracelet with the things on them, and I've been wearing that lately with the bells on the ankle. Wow. Pomegranate seeds, stuff like that. Yeah, there's a lot of information you're getting, a lot of downloads you're having, a lot of intuition. This intuition, if you follow your intuition, you work on your intuition, it's going to get stronger, and you're going to be able to help yourself in your divine masculine if he works on his, because he needs to work on his too. But between the prayers and the protection, you'll be able to conquer this negativity, is what I'm hearing. Nine of Pentacles is wishes fulfilled, right? Nine of Coins, but there's still somebody controlling. Someone may be turning into a monster after all of this. But maybe you don't care because you're still holding on to the money. And you love them and you're comfortable. So maybe you know that your divine masculine has a little bit of a fetish, but you're willing to accept it because you're comfortable. Or maybe in the past you have been. But it's a 9. So that's going to be, your wishes are going to be fulfilled, but be careful what you ask for. This is going to, this may threaten to take away some of your power or encroach on your power because of the controllingness, the controlling nature of this person. It's just who they are. But you'll be comfortable. Thank you, said beautiful. Thank you. Well, yeah. You'll be comfortable, but you'll be under someone else's thumb. You'll be under someone else's control. And they will try to contain you, your beauty, your intuition. They want that for themselves. Maybe they don't want you to share that with the world. They want to capitalize on your talents somehow. If you're talented in something, your gifts. Someone. Someone may have gifts and their divine masculine or their counterpart, whoever is thinking about trying to capitalize on your gifts. Knight of Swords. Yeah. Other people have been wanting you or watching you, watching this go on. Some people are helping them to tame you. All of this is to teach you that they want to tame you. They have a strange way of looking at love, but they definitely love you. Whatever the definition of love is for them. High Priestess, they know that you are gifted, but they want you to regulate your gifts to them. They want to control who you share your gifts with. And the Two of Cups, the High Priestess, they love the High Priestess. They love your gifts. They love, and they know they want to keep you to themselves. There's some jealousy, maybe. They want to control you. And he says, I know it. Everyone is suspect. Side eye, everybody. Don't trust anyone. That was the message Spirit gave me last week in case you didn't see it. Trust no one. Three of Cups. Trust no one. No one. Trust no one. Just yourself and God and the gifts that you've been given. Water, air, earth, fire, ether, truth, and love. So, folks, 2:44, 13, 14. I'm out of here. Thank you so much, everybody, for hitting me for such a long time. But this is the message. I hope that the end of this made it worth you sitting through all of that. But that was the message. There's still more message. But this is going to be too long. I won't be able to upload it. So maybe I'll go and have something to eat and relax. Okay? Who knows? Kata says, keep the faith. Be well guided, friends. Blessings and love and light. Ashe. Yes. So watch this later. Get a glass of wine or whatever you do. Send it to your friends, girlfriends, other people that are on this journey, other people that have a little, issues in their lives. You might not know all the details. That might be helpful. Okay. Yes, they see you as their stability. You may be their golden egg. If things work out, they're just as divine as you. They're not stupid. They see what's happening. It's just that their dark side is a little more prone to shady. right now. And that might be something that you have to learn to live with because you'll be comfortable. Anyway, clean up your mess, pay attention, watch your back, tell your friends, take baths, sage. Whatever you do to protect yourself, do it. And if you don't do it, decide to make something up and do it. You can protect yourself. Leave something on the altar with your ancestors. And then when you walk out the house, you put it in your purse or in your bra or in your wallet or whatever. You're welcome. Okay. I'll talk to everyone real soon. Love you all so much. And if someone wants to timestamp it, feel free. Love you guys. And I'll talk to you later. And thanks again for the super chats. All right. And I'll be talking to everybody real soon. Namaste. Peace. What's the matter? Katrilla says no. Until you can see me on the messenger later, okay? Talk to you then. Bye-bye.